instead call a national day of mourning. I think of the settlers here and in Palestine who have always justified their land theft and massacres by saying that their God gave them the right to our land. I think of the settlers who often have had no trouble killing even our children because they don't see us as being fully human. But we never lose our humanity. We are in relationship with each other, and we are in relationship with the land. As Indigenous people, the land is part of our bodies, our stories, everything we are. And I know that the land, the rivers, the seas and lakes of Palestine are on the side of the Palestinian people and await their return. As Indigenous peoples, we resist because we must. We have no choice but to either suffer and die or fight. We fight back by staying alive, having children, loving each other, remembering who we were and still are, and knowing who we will be. We fight for our land. We fight back in any way we can, because the alternative is to become extinct on our own homelands, which is the ultimate goal of settler colonization. The Zionists know that their days of unbridled power are numbered, and they're trying to break the Palestinian people. It's our job to stop that. Yes. We stand here today, part of a worldwide movement of millions calling for a ceasefire. But a ceasefire is not enough. Palestine needs reparations and massive aid to rebuild. Yes. The occupation and the settlements need to end. The prisoners must be freed. U.S. aid to Israel must end. Palestine must be liberated. There's no going back. There can be no peace either for those funding and supporting genocide in Gaza. We must break the grip of the colonizers once and for all, from Palestine to Turtle Island right here, to every part of the earth still living under colonization. No justice, no peace, land back. No justice, no peace. 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 No justice.
As is our practice at the North American Indian Center of Boston, before we say anything about ourselves, we must first recognize the land that holds us, the land that sustains us here on this stolen, unceded indigenous territory. This land that is sacred to the Wampanoag, to the Nipmuc, to the Abenaki, to the Massachusetts, to the First Peoples. We recognize this land. And in recognizing this land, we must first ask ourselves, first and foremost, how are we as guests on this land benefiting from colonization? And what is our responsibility? What must we do as good guests? One such action is to support every effort by the original peoples to repatriate land and natural resources back to the original peoples. And as an urban indigenous community, a community that is formed by this United States Congress terminating its relationship with tribes in the 1950s, adopting policies of forced relocation, forced assimilation, and yet we continue to this day, we affirm the rights of all indigenous peoples to return back to their homeland. My name is Jean-Luc Perit. I am from the Tunica Biloxi tribe of Louisiana. I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, what we call Babancha. I am also descendant, my grandmother is from the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians. And when I was growing up, we had a very simple story that was shared in our family, shared in our community. That at a time after the Trail of Tears, word got back to our people in our nation of the genocide that was going on in Ireland. The genocide, more commonly known as the potato famine, but it was a genocide. And after the Trail of Tears and knowing about what was happening on the other side of the world, our community was moved to the point where we gathered as much as we could, $170, and we sent it to Ireland with only one rationale. Only one rationale. That what happened to us is happening to other peoples. And that is what I am here today to tell you. That there are people that are here that are black and indigenous. There are people that continue to this day, survivors of Tulsa when this American empire turned their bombs on homeland against black people. There are people who survive to this day. I am a survivor. My family is a survivor of Hurricane Katrina. When our hospitals, just as Al-Shifa today, the patients that died in the hospitals after a crisis, it happened to us. It happened in Puerto Rico with Hurricane Maria. It happened in Hawaii with the wildfires, and on and on and on. All of us together, we are standing here today in true, concrete solidarity, because there is no greater humanitarianism than to look at another and say that I am acting, I am giving you my all today because I see myself in you. And so it is important for me to express indigenous solidarity and join with my Irish brothers and sisters that say permanent and sustainable ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Repeat after us. Justice, my friend. Repeat after us. Justice, my friend.
My friend.
You'll never walk alone.
You'll never walk alone.
We will walk with you.
Walk with you.
We'll bring justice home.
We'll bring justice home.
Justice, justice,
Justice, my friend.
never walk alone.
You'll never walk alone.
We will
Walk
with you.
Walk with you.
We'll bring justice home.
We'll bring justice home.
Long live Palestine. Long live the indigenous people of the United States of America.
Amazing speech by the representatives of the indigenous community. Like he said, we must understand that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the indigenous community of Sudan, of the Congo, of Puerto Rico, of South Africa. Systems of oppression are intertwined, and we must fight together against all of them. Before we move on to our next speech,